Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. This is William Hindman. I'm your host. And this is Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do their job or they just really screw it up. This one's coming to us from Louisiana, New Orleans. This is about police officers who hire a hitman to kill someone. And this comes to us from 501 Deadhead Trucker. No, Dreadhead Trucker. All right. Information's down below. Tell them I sent you guys over there. Subscribe to them. Hit their like and share. This was also sent to me by one of my subscribers. And it's very unnerving is a good word. Hey, if you would, do me a favor. Hit the like and share button. Hit the thumbs up if you would. Leave me a comment and subscribe. We're trying to get to 4,000. We're at 90 or 3946. We're almost there, guys. So keep it up. All right. Thank you very much for subscribing if you have already done so. Let's get this video on and check this out. This is scary.
Groves was a 32-year-old mother of three who filed a brutality complaint against Davis with the NOPD's Internal Affairs Division. Davis was alerted to the complaint by another officer and enlisted Paul Cool Hardy to kill Groves outside of her lower 9th Ward home.
So this is a cop that she complained on, and he's going to get his buddy to whack her.
Davis was later implicated in an FBI investigation that linked Davis and Hardy to Groves' murder. In a statement to WWL Louisiana, Kim Groves' son Corey said, "My family has been living with the nightmare of Lynn Davis for over 30 years. I've always wanted him to spend the rest of his life in prison and have to wake up every morning and think about what he did when he took our mother from us." Now, in total, Biden commuted 37 of 40 prisoners. Biden said he condemns these murderers and grieves for the victims, but he is convinced that the death penalty must stop on the federal level. Mike.
Mentioned earlier, Len had been extorting protection money from drug dealers in the area. Two of these dealers were Paul Hardy and Damon Causey. The men would often do favors for Len in exchange for protection, and the last favor he was able to request was for them to kill Kim Groves. It was now around 5 o'clock on October 13th, and Len paged for Paul. Paul called Len, and they went over the plans to kill Kim. Paul was to be the designated shooter, while Len and Damon were tasked with cleaning up any evidence. They also planned what would happen after the murder.
Well, those are two police officers, by the way.
Len was supposed to meet Paul and Damon at the police station to view photos of homicide cases. Len and Damon met up. They drove around in Len's patrol car searching for Kim in the neighborhood. At around 7:30 that night, they picked Paul up and drove back to Kim's neighborhood and let Paul out so he could walk around and find her. Len then left the neighborhood again to take Paul home because they were having a hard time finding Kim. Len then drove around with his partner Samuel, but hours had gone by and still no Kim. Len ended up calling Paul complaining, but Paul reassured him that the job would get done. Finally, at around 10 o'clock p.m., Len and his partner spotted Kim near her home, so he immediately paged Paul. After calling Len back, Paul made his way to Kim's neighborhood. Samuel's shift was over, so by this time he left Len alone in the patrol car. At around 10:45, Kim was still not dead, so he called Paul to complain once again. He described what Kim was wearing and how she looked in detail. At 11 o'clock, Paul found Kim and fatally shot her. Len was unaware of the FBI being on his trail, so they quickly found out he was behind the murder of Kim Groves. The FBI also busted 9 other police officers employed with the NOPD as being corrupt officers.
Did you catch that? 9 other officers that were corrupt in this whole thing. It's scary, people. You know, and the scary part is this crap is true. This has been going on for a long time. And if you're black in America, you already got a target on you.
And they were relieved of their duties. In December 1994, the government filed a federal indictment against Len, Paul, and Damon. All 3 men were tried together in front of a jury. In July 1995, the government filed 2 notices of intent to seek the death penalty for Paul and Len. In August 1995, the men were charged with conspiracy to deprive Kim of her civil rights while acting under color of state law, depriving Kim of her civil rights by use of excessive force by shooting her with a firearm resulting in death, and willfully killing Kim to prevent her communications to a law enforcement officer regarding a possible federal crime. On April 26, 1996, Lynn was sentenced to death, Paul was also sentenced to death, and Damon was sentenced to life in prison after he rejected a plea deal that would have given him 6 to 9 years in prison. After Lynn was sentenced, he left the courtroom and refused to return. The Fifth Circuit reversed Lynn and Paul's death sentence when the conviction for witness tampering was overturned. After a new sentencing hearing, the new jury agreed with sentencing Lynn to death on October 27, 2006. Paul was also resentenced to death, but in 2011, his sentence was commuted to life when the judge found him to be mentally retarded. As of today, Lynn is currently on federal death row and is imprisoned at the U.S. Penitentiary Terre Haute in Indiana.
Okay, guys, so, the amount of time it takes to get this stuff through the courts with officers is insane. Something that would take us a year, year and a half, takes them 5 to 10 years. It's crazy because they keep continuing it. Hopefully, you'll just forget about it and it'll go away. That's what they're hoping because of this whole thin blue line crap they have. This blue shield that the unions have created. The police unions are a joke. They go through and basically rate the city dry, and then whatever anybody else needs, they can go from there. It's crazy. If you look at the stuff they get for their officers, the overtime, they try to push so you can't complain about an officer. You can't do anything to the officer. The female officer in Florida that went off on a tangent on a gentleman in a T-shirt and shorts or swimming suit because he was swimming. Somebody came up and pulled a gun on him. He called the cops. This cop lady goes off on him like she's a nutcase maniac, and the police chief fires her. The union makes them take her back. What? She's mentally unstable, and you're going to have her as a cop. Wow. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this. Remember, always film the police and your public officials because you can't trust them. And do something good for somebody because it just may come back to you. Okay? You guys have a great and safe day.